on this episode of The Truth Will Set You Free, we have this from Fandom Pulse. Rotten Tomatoes removes audience ratings for The Acolyte after Leslie Headland and the media complain about review bombing. Now, before we get into this, I do not remotely take Rotten Tomatoes into any consideration at all. I think since The Last Jedi, it's been evidently clear what's going on with this company. So ultimately, I don't remotely trust their opinions on things. However, I always find it very interesting with the term review bombing. How come it never really works in the opposite direction? Here's just a few examples here. I mean, you look at Oppenheimer, 93% tomato meter, 91% audience score. Fantastic movie. Godzilla -1, 98% across the board. Okay, that makes sense. The Boys Season 4, 94% tomato meter, 52% audience score. It's terrible. Season 4 is really, really bad. And it's really funny, though, that I was just going through some of the reviews on this site, though. This keeps popping up. People keep saying things like this, and it's really like the NPC meme. It's just regurgitating whatever the media is telling you to say. This says here by SG, how anyone would think that Homelander was the hero of the story is absolutely astonishing. Why do you think that? Why is that something that I have to read every single day on my comment section? People saying, oh, well, you know, The Boys is actually making fun of this, though. We know it's making fun of everything. It's satire. It takes shots at both political parties and all ideologies. Homelander is a very, very well-written character who was performed incredibly by Anthony Starr. But back to the reviews, Madam Web, 11% tomato meter, 57% audience score. I mean, I think the audience score is actually a little bit too high. But then you get to the Marvels, and that's a really odd one for me because it was a terrible movie, yet somehow 62% and 82% audience score. You don't normally see that with movies that are this bad. And then you look at The Acolyte. Yesterday, 83% tomato meter, 14% audience rating, and you go on today and it's gone. Audience score completely gone. Same thing with Doctor Who. Doctor Who had a higher tomato meter than The Acolyte, 96%, and they removed it entirely. How is that possible? I mean, you see Russell T Davies saying that he doesn't think this show is going to get another season. And I agree, Russell. Your show is terrible. Absolutely atrocious. The Acolyte. You're not getting a second season of this. Are you insane? If you have to remove the ability for people to critique your product, it's bad. You don't really see that with other places, right? Like, we've seen audience scores and tomato meters pretty low before. Collectively low, and somehow those reviews are still able to be posted. But oh no. Disney's, they remove them. A little bit weird, right? As I said before, I find it very, very, very odd and very telling that all of these places, except the Marvels, that's the only one that I actually found that goes against my theory here. But how come there's not thousands and thousands of people creating all these profiles to give these shows and movies perfect ratings? You don't see that going on with bad shows. So the more I look into this, the weirder it gets, though, because I didn't know they had the ability to remove things. So in the end, what's the point of it? Because The Acolyte is a terribly written show. It does everything wrong. I still don't know if it's worse than Boba Fett or Obi-Wan Kenobi or Ahsoka, though. I think those might be on the same level at this point, though, because at least with The Acolyte, you're not destroying legacy characters that fans have grown to love. I mean, they've created a new set of characters that no one cares about. But what exactly does Rotten Tomatoes get out of this? That they're protecting these products? Why? Actually, also more importantly, because I don't really know if Rotten Tomatoes is control over the audience score. It's their website, so they'd be obviously able to. If you truly are in control of the numbers and want to manipulate it, thus trying to manipulate the fan base into thinking, hey, this show might actually be great. Because when you remove the score, it's mask off. You know you're screwed at this point, though. So I don't understand why Rotten Tomatoes would do this to begin with, when you literally can just manipulate the numbers yourself. So I don't know. I'm just theorizing here, and I can't figure out why they would do this. But in the end, what do you guys think about that?
Yasuke the samurai under the Japanese sky. From Africa he came with a spirit that won't die. In the service of Nobunaga, he stood tall and brave. Yasuke the samurai, a legacy engraved.